If you missed last week, this is the sin circle, and you're in it. So that's kind of the Cliff Notes version of last week's message. We're studying from Romans chapter 1, where the Apostle Paul talks us through a list of the unrighteous, people who are in the sin circle. As he does this, he uses the pronoun they. Talks about they. In other words, it's being read to a church in Rome, but he's not saying you who are listening. He's talking about they who are not in the church, they. And if you want to get church people kind of worked up, getting applause, you talk about theys. You talk about the theys. And you're like, oh yeah, let's go. Let them have it, Paul. They need to hear the truth, Paul. But he's kind of setting us up because he's going to transition here from Romans 1 to Romans 2, and he's going to change pronouns from they to you. And Paul starts off saying they are envious, and they are greedy, and they are deceitful, and they gossip, and they slander, and they're sexually immoral, and they are arrogant, and they're boastful. And then in chapter 1, he uses the word they like 15 times in those verses. And then chapter 2, he says, like, what are you clapping about, y'all? And he uses the pronoun you about 15 times in those 5 verses. So he switches from they to you because he wants to make sure you understand you're they. You are they, that we're all in this circle together. You might be unrighteous, you might be self-righteous, but we are all sinners. And so chapter 2, he's going to speak a little bit more directly to what we might think of as church people, right? Like the people who come every week and they put maybe their confidence in the fact that they keep certain rules or follow certain rituals, the moralists, the do-gooders, and he's going to help those people recognize that we're all in this together. There's not any real difference, that we're all sinners. And for him, as he preaches to the people in Rome there, they're Jews and they're Gentiles. And the Jews had this tendency to want to put the Gentiles inside the circle, but kind of keep themselves out of it because of all their religious background. But he wants to make it clear, like you might be a Jew, or you might be Gentile, you might be a Greek, you might be a barbarian, you might be Democrat, you might be Republican, you might be a churchgoer, you might not be a churchgoer, but we're all in the same circle. We all need Jesus.